Nouns are divided into groups called declensions. We've learned first declension. It was the one that went a, I, R, east, us, east. Now we're going to learn second declension. Second declension includes a lot of nouns that are masculine and neuter. So, here are the endings for the masculine. You're either in the nominative going to have a US or an R ending. Whatever's in the dictionary entry is what you go with. Then it's going to go I, O with a long mark, I, is, os, is. So if you were learning a song to remember it, it would go like this. U-S-I-O-U-M, O-I-O-R-U-M, I-S-O-S-I-S. That's the second declension. Now, if you notice in the song, the R ending isn't included. You just got to kind of remember it's there. So this again is for masculine second declension nouns. I also said that neuter nouns were in the second declension. So the way these work is it's going to be UM, I, O, UM, long O, A, orum, is, a, is. There are two rules to the neuter. First rule of the neuter is nominative and accusative are always the same. So, nominative and accusative are always the same. Nominative and accusative plural always end in A. So, if you say it in the tone or with a rhythm, you'll always remember it. Nominative, accusative are always the same. Nominative, accusative, plural end in A. Again, nominative, accusative are always the same. Nominative, accusative, plural end in A. If you look, the second declension masculine endings are the same as the neuter endings. It's just you're following these two rules. So that changes the endings with the arrows on them. Okay, so let's look at a second declension now. Here we go. Chorus is a second declension noun. I know that because it has an I at the end of the genitive singular. So this is second declension. Cura is a first declension because it had an AE. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and try to put our endings on chorus. Pretty simple. You put the first word of the dictionary entry in the first blank. You put the second word in the second blank. You take off one letter from the second word. So that leaves you with C-A-R-R. You put that in each blank. And then you go back through and you sing your song. U-S-I-O-U-M, O-I-O-R-U-M, I-S-O-S-I-S. That's the second declension. And you're done with this one. Now, this one was masculine, and I knew that because it had the M right there. So that's why I used these endings. But let's say you're doing a neuter word. Let's use the word insect. Romans didn't know that insects had gender, so they made them neuter. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. I'm just setting up my board here. Singular and plural columns. Okay, so as I said, it's neuter. We're going to keep that in mind. You put the first word in the first blank. You put the second word in the second blank. You take off one letter. That leaves you with I-N-E-S-E-C-T. You put that in each blank. It's going to take me a second, so be patient. Okay, and we're done. Now, I think the first thing you should do is go ahead and use the two rules of the neuter. So nominative and accusative are always the same. Nominative and accusative plural end in A. There you go. Then you just use your song to fill it in. You're going to have to ignore some of it because I just realized my genitive was wrong. I already had it written down. Sorry. All right, you're going to have to ignore some of it because, let's be honest, it's already filled in for you. But go ahead and use the song to get the rest of the endings. So instead of US, I put UM because it's neuter. Then I, O, O. This is A instead of I because it's neuter. Orum, IS, A because it's neuter. And then IS, and you're done. So that's the second declension.